Today's adventure will be an automotive modification video where I will be installing AVS in-channel window visors on my 2013 Nissan Maxima. This video is not sponsored and all the products used will be down in the description. As always, remember the Gobstopper and the Gobstopping Adventures are not responsible for any modifications you do to your vehicle or anybody else's. So let's jump into it. In today's adventure, we'll be installing the AVS in-channel window visor vents on a 2013 Nissan Maxima. There's a few things that I'm going to need to get this project done. That's isopropyl alcohol and a microfiber cloth for cleaning the surfaces. I also have a plastic detailing card. So the purpose of that, or what I'm using that for, is I wrap the microfiber cloth around it so that way I have something that's a little bit more rigid to be able to stick in that gap and really get on the inside and clean that gap. It is extremely important to clean the window seal and the window seal gap. If you don't, then the adhesive strip that is on the vent visors will fail. If you don't get the dirt and grime out that builds up over time from road use, the adhesive will fail. So that's just something I've learned from doing this stuff in the past. Don't use just water. You want to make sure to use something like a cleaning agent that's also not going to leave a greasy residue. So this kit does come with some isopropyl alcohol wipes. So since I already had a bottle of isopropyl alcohol, I didn't use the included wipes that came with this kit. I just used what I already had to clean this up. So first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to test fit everything, see which piece goes to which window, because every piece is custom fit to fit a certain window. This is the vent visor that I believe goes to this back window. However, I'm not sure whether it goes on the inside or on the outside. And what I mean by that is that back mounting piece. The directions say it goes on the outside. However, it looks like it would go on the inside. But I do notice when I try to put it on the inside, it is slightly too large to fit. So after further investigation and resorting to looking in the instruction manual, that piece does go on the outside, but I am just gonna check and confirm that it is the right piece, because this one, it wouldn't make sense for it to go on that side of the window, as the aerodynamics of the car with it being on that side, the adhesive point being on that side, I believe it would rip it right off. So it only makes sense for it to go on the back side of the window. So to clarify that a little bit further, on one side of the vent visor is a plastic piece that inserts between the window and the window seal, and on the other side is an adhesive mounting point. So now that I have found which piece goes on the rear driver's side window, now it is time for me to figure out which piece goes on the driver's side window. This one is a little bit easier to determine just based on the cut of the piece and how it fits to the molding of the car. So now that we have found the correct front piece, we can go ahead and get everything ready to be installed and mounted. First, we're going to do a little test fit, make sure everything works. So the purpose of the test fit is to make sure that we can get everything lined up and in the proper place, so that way when we are ready to mount it, less mistakes can be made, and we can get a more tight and professional looking finish from this install. And so the purpose of the test fit really is to make sure and see really where you want everything to line up. And so once we get to installing the front piece, there is something that is not in the instructions, and the front piece doesn't have one. I don't understand why. What I mean is there is no mounting point for the side of the window or the side of the vent visor like on the back windows. So we're going to fix that and create one. It just pops in. I guess it's supposed to be a friction fit, and it just is supposed to hold it up. And it being held up is not the issue. The issue is that because there's such tight clearances for the window to be able to roll up, the front piece on the vent visor has a tendency to get caught on the window and interfere with the window rolling up. So that's an issue that we need to address. So I'm turning my car on right now, and I'm gonna do a test fit with the window. So as I mentioned earlier, this is one of the biggest reasons and benefits that we do test fits. All these manufacturers and companies that make products like this are making several that are somewhat universal to go on several different body styles of the same model. So some of those models are a little bit different. So if we have to make modifications to make this work, it's easier if we know now. So right now, I'm just clearing out the channel, making sure I don't have any gunk in the channel. This one I did have some junk in the channel. It's like a little piece of stick or something. So we're gonna clean the rest of this gunk out of the window seal here, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to doing another test fit. Since our first test fit didn't work out as we wanted it to, now that we've got this cleaned up, we're going to go back and make sure we can do another test fit, so that way we can make sure everything lines up and it's going to work the way that we want it to. Now, one of the issues that I saw, or not issues that I personally saw, but one of the issues that has been reported through the reviews and researching this product online, is that piece right there that I'm holding out with my fingers. That piece right there is where I'm going to put some mounting tape that is not included with the actual kit here, but I've noticed, according to a lot of the reviews, that that part getting caught on the window is a very big issue in using these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of double-sided mounting tape between the plastic of the car on the front here and the plastic that's on this window visor. So I'm going to stick it right on the top of, or on the front side of this window visor, and then stick it to the inside of the vehicle. I'm going to make that make a little bit more sense in a second. That probably wasn't the best description of how I'm going to do this, but once we get to it, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. Then hopefully what I just said will make a little bit more sense. And if I had really thought ahead, I would have put it on now before I even put it in, but I didn't. So learn from my mistakes, put it on, put your extra piece of mounting tape on before it's mounted or during the preparation stage. The way that I show you that I did it here is probably not the most efficient and effective way. The best way to do it would be to apply the extra piece of mounting tape before you get to this point. Just make it a little bit easier. So what we're going to do is we're just going to work it in here. Once we get it all in, then we're going to roll the window up, and that helps secure it. Just like with any type of adhesive style mounting, there needs to be applied pressure to the adhesive between the parts. So what this is going to do is this is going to keep that applied pressure and help the two parts cement to each other through the adhesive. So now that we have that piece in, according to the directions, we want to let it rest. Let it rest 24 hours. We want to let it rest 24 hours to 48 hours, so that way it doesn't, the seal or the bond doesn't become broken. Now, this is the piece where I was talking about. I add a piece of double-sided mounting tape, and I would recommend a different mounting tape than what I'm using here. I would recommend a lot stronger mounting tape than what I'm using. And this is just, as I said earlier, learn from my mistakes and learn from my failures. Because this is not the best mounting tape. The best mounting tape that I've found with cars or anything, especially as it pertains to working in the elements, is the Scotch heavy duty mounting tape or the Gorilla heavy duty mounting tape. Both of those work really well. And so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take this cloth and I'm going to jam it up into underneath the window visor between the frame, between the window visor and the window itself. And so that way it keeps a little bit of pressure on the outside of this, or on the inside of this, and pushes that double-sided mounting tape that I just added on the inside and helps that piece adhere, so that way when I roll my window up and down, that piece won't be getting caught on the front of my window, which, like I said, has been a very big issue according to the reviews and research that I found online. So now we're going to move over to the back window. So this is the part that I was talking about earlier. It does not go on the inside right there, as you saw me put it between the inside the window jamb there and sliding it up. If you notice, it's pushing out. It's not a very good fit, even though I think that's how it should go. It makes more sense for it to fit like that. I don't know why they didn't design it that way for it to go in the window jamb on that side there. Maybe there's not enough clearance for the window to roll up. I'm not sure. But so that's where it actually goes on the outside. And I've already done a test fit to make sure that this is the correct piece. So what we're going to do now is we're going to remove the protective layer on the adhesive, and then we're going to push this up into place, and then we're going to remove the adhesive protection that's on the other piece of adhesive. So this piece goes on the inside between the door and the seal of the window, and this other side goes on the outside. There is a piece of adhesive right on the back of this overhang mounting point that we will use it to secure to the back side of the window. And the reason that I decided to use tweezers to pull this off rather than pulling it off before sticking it up there is I didn't want it to get stuck in the wrong place and then be a nightmare to get back off. So what I decided to do was insert the top piece and then fight with it a little bit with these tweezers to get this other piece off. And so if any of you guys have bought this kit and are putting it on your car, best way to go about doing it is removing that piece right there, that plastic piece, or the plastic overlay protection, is to remove it from the bottom. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the window up, make sure we get a nice tight fit, and because I don't have to worry about the window catching on this one like I do on the front, I'm not going to worry about putting any type of spacer like I did with the front window and the microfiber cloth. But so now that we have the driver's side done, I'm going to do the passenger side off camera, but it's just the same process, just repeat it on the other side. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel and the YouTube algorithm. Until next time.